Motherfucking Hearthstone, man. You think I was joking when I rage quit?
So you thought you were out, but it pulled you back in?
Well, yeah. It's like it just sucks to lose a lot and to have so much of it be a fucking coin flip. And just knowing that it's a goddamn 12-year-old on the other side who's killing me.
But it's just because you're a loser.
Granted, but I don't need it rubbed in my
that
face.
12-year-old is the bright, shining future of the world. You are a beaten down, old, busted, used up vessel that can't play Hearthstone.
Accurate. And on that charming note, you know that it has got to be go time for Night Attack. Look, I got my falsetto back. I finally have gone long enough that I haven't been shouting all the time.
I can't believe it.
Live in Austin, Texas, joined out in Oakland, California by none other than the professor of the universe, Justin Robert Young. What's going on, JRY?
I am indeed the professor, and all of your term papers are due forthwith.
Holy crap, man. We got a lot going on. We had planned to talk about hacking the system. We had the watch party last night, and there's some follow-up on that stuff. By the way, if you didn't get to see it and you want to complain about cable, we found out this morning that you can get it on Google Play, iTunes, or any of that other stuff. It was an amazing experience, and we'll talk more about it later. I got some mysterious letters, or what I thought were mysterious letters. But then, fucking walking, we spent an hour, as we often do, in the afternoon, walking through all the bits for this stuff. And we finally felt like we had a bit that we were into. We got a structure.
Good.
Couple of little elements to fill in. And then, Justin says, "What the fuck?" in that tone of voice that could only mean like, and then I'm like, what's up, bro? And it's just met with silence, which is unusual because Justin's rarely at a loss for words.
Yeah.
And then what happened? What happened next?
Well, Brian, I almost feel like, what we have on our hands is an absolute. Have you ever had mysteries? Ones you couldn't crack? Ones that you thought you'd buried long ago. Until one day, they come back. Holy crap, man. No, you're not kidding. Like, there was a legit situation that kind of dropped on...
Well, it was weird the way it unfolded because first you say "what the fuck" in a tone that says like something really went sideways, and I was like, I so like, what? Somebody die? And you're like, well, speaking of death, I just got friended on Facebook by Charles Young, and I'm like, who the fuck is Charles Young? And then with the perfect dramatic half beat, you say, my dad.
Yeah. So my dad friended me on Facebook. An awkward sentence that many people say as if to, illustrate how far social media has come. Fairly unremarkable. Now, if I tell you then that I have been estranged from my father for close to 19 years.
Scales it up. It's a bit more awkward, bit more strange. I mean, it's weird enough when your parents friend you on Facebook, you don't know if you want to share. It's really weird when you ain't talked to someone for 19 years.
Yeah. So that would be something that is odd. And yet it gets elevated even further when you are almost positive your dad died nearly 13 years ago.
Dun, dun, dun. Because that was the thing. You're like, when you said, I'm like, who's Charles Young? You're like, my dad. And I was like, wait, I thought your dad was dead. And then it was like, I forgot what you said, but it was to the equivalent of, so did I.
Yeah, no, that was the conventional wisdom, was that old Charles Young died somewhere in Puerto Rico, destitute. Now, let's go ahead and get just a little primer on who Charles Young either was or possibly now is.
Well, first of all, listeners who bought the first Night Attack album, because I think that's the only time we really talked about your dad was in that one track where
the second one actually.
Was it? I thought it was. Oh, okay, I'm sure they'll tell us. But where it's racist Justin was I think what it was called or something like that.
Yeah.
But he accused you of being racist because you didn't know instantly whether or not you would fuck a black girl.
Oh my God.
Listen, he asked three or two questions, I believe. Oh no, three questions. Would you kiss a black girl? And I said yes. Would you date a black? Now, mind you, my father's an alcoholic. Let's also, I feel like we need some primer here. My father was, and now possibly is, an alcoholic, or maybe not. Who knows if he's gotten clean. He would go on these, he was very erudite, which is also very important for people to understand as we delve into this mystery here. So in that particular track, what I was talking about was there was a moment in which I asked, my father was shit-faced drunk. I was talking to him, and he said, "Yeah."
You were like what, 14 at the time? I think you said
less than that, 12.
And so it's it's awkward to have any dad, question what you're willing to do with a girl.
Middle school. I was in middle school. And my father, wasted, smoking cigarettes indoors. Says,
if I remember the track correctly, the first question is like, would you kiss a black girl? Would you date a black girl? They were like, would you fuck a black girl? And you're like, I don't know. And
I haven't fucked anybody. Like, I don't know what it means to fuck as a concept, right? Like, I am a virgin. And I'm like, I don't know, Dad. And he just takes a long drag off his cigarette. You're a racist.
And then as though he can't handle the idea of having a gay son or whatever, he's like, my son's a racist.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Then went to go wake up my brother. He woke him up and said, Eric, you're my favorite.
Sleep. My God.
Yeah. Man.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, imagine my surprise when Charles Young friends me on Facebook.
Now, are you sure there wasn't some confusion? Like, because I've met your mom, and I could imagine her saying something like, "He's dead to me."
You would think they would have cleared that up.
So here are the facts. Hold on, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, play it again. Play it again.
Yeah, here we go. So here are the facts, Bonnie.
Okay.
My father was living in St. Thomas when I was still in contact with him, specifically in the Charlotte Amalie area, if you are familiar with the U.S. Virgin Islands. He then moved to Puerto Rico because he burned not one, but 2 bridges on the island. If there's this dude, if burning bridges was a mutant power, this dude was Charles Xavier. Like, he not only was good at it, he was, it's amazing he could not monetize it. It was shocking.
So when you say burn a bridge, you don't mean like you just got into a fight at a bar and ruined a friendship, or you don't mean he burned actual bridges. You mean he crushed relationships so completely that he had to leave to a different area?
So, yes. I moved around a lot as I was a kid, to the point where when I would tell people how many places I moved around when I was a kid, people would assume that I was a military kid, because that's normally what happens. But no, it was just because my dad was an asshole and would not be able to stay at a job for more than 2 years.
Oh.
My father was at the base, ground zero of the pager and cell phone boom in the late 70s, early 80s. Like, he was at Ericsson when everything, it went from them selling 2-way radios to them selling pagers, effectively.
Right.
And then cell phones.
So
after
now when you say he was there, like, was he in sales or in
sales?
Okay.
Always in sales.
Yeah.
So it was always ancillary to the tech, but he was involved in it. So as Ericsson got big, he just always had the dream resume, because he would fail downward, but the industry was so exploding that there was always a down. and he was always the slam dunk hire.
Wow.
So he'd go from there to Motorola. And then from Motorola, as pagers and cell phones became regional things to buy from, he would always be able to just go to the largest regional area provider and then to the mid-level and then to the lowest, as he would burn bridges at each one of those companies. So one of his major friends, after he burned all of his bridges in the United States and had legal issues, by the way, outstanding warrants for drinking and driving specifically, and back child support pay, he moved to St. Thomas to
there's the divorce, like things break down, and you're around what age at the time of the divorce?
8, my brother's 5.
Okay, and then but you're still visiting, you're in touch, and he's doing your dad thing, and you see him from time to time, and that's when you're age 12, you're visiting,
Yes.
Got it.
So instead of every other weekend, what the agreement was is that they package everything up, and I would just go for either like a month during the summer or like the entire week of spring break, something like that.
Right.
Now he goes to St. Thomas because he's got a buddy that he's had forever that runs all telecommunications on the island of St. Thomas and St. Croix.
Oh, so this is like the hugest opportunity. If you're somebody who knows the business, if you're the slam dunk hire, you have essentially a monopolistic opportunity in this area to just come in and seize and everyone
and his
make a lot of
buddy's
money.
like, hey, listen, you're going through a bunch of stuff. Like I'll bring you in. We'll nurse you back to health. Within a year and a half, he was working for the only competition on the island.
Oh, wow.
His friend, right? And then eventually he moved to Puerto Rico. Around this time, I have a falling out with him. I stopped talking to him. He is in contact with a few other people within our family. And then at a certain point, he just drops off the face of the planet. This is very odd for him because he was prolific at asking for money.
Well, and you're about what age at this point when just you give or take stop hearing from him?
It was probably around that anybody stopped hearing from him, probably around 01 or so.
Or just so that's around the time that people noticed that they weren't hearing from him. Like there's that gray area.
And started looking for him. Start calling around to people at his at his apartment building, stuff like that.
And everybody just says, no, haven't seen him, don't know what's going on. And
people say he was very sick. We assume he's dead.
Oh, wow.
So that is all we know until right now.
Okay. And so you get now when it says Charles Young is friended you on Facebook. That's got to be a common name. What is the part? I mean, and plus also you're a public figure. You have to get friended by everyone in the world, and especially
I accept everybody in the world. Right?
Yeah.
So this page has no profile pic, no pictures of him. It is all seemingly random stuff, and most of the photos are of random bullshit macros, like stupid quotes. Like on a black.
Does he have any smug atheist Neil deGrasse Tyson Starfield quotes?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No more with that.
Oh yeah, sorry. Keep going.
It might as well be, right? But it's all but some of it's in Spanish, some of it's in English, and all the photos that are attached to him or like of him are of somebody else. They're just like a random lady. So I'm like, this is really weird. But his birth date's correct.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, because this was we started playing a little bit of Serial at the time. You said the birth date, and I was like, is that sorry. Have you played it? This is where it gets weird. I asked Justin if this is the right birthday, and he says to me, I wish we could suddenly turn on a phone effect voice, and it's like you as if you're there, like, it is what it is.
No, go ahead. Ask. Do your Sarah Koenig. I'll come back.
This is where it gets weird. It was around this time that he shared with me the date. I asked Justin if it could be his father's birthday.
I mean, like, I would say, it was around. It was definitely like I didn't even first think that I remembered his birthday. Like I was like I didn't even think I thought it was in the fall, to be real with you. But like it was actually February 24th, which turns out was his real birthday.
This is when we realized that it was an important development.
So it's his real birthday.
So now you have,
and the city that it says he is in was the last one that we knew he was alive in, which is in Puerto Rico.
Now
it says he is from Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, which is not true, but that was the last city that he was in.
well, I mean, and I think it's reasonable to assume if somebody has pretty much burned all of his bridges stateside and only burned a lot of bridges in the last place he lives, my guess is you don't want to be recursive all the way back to your original place of origin. You probably just want to go one step back and be like, well, I lived in this one town, this one island, but it all burned down and it was a terrible fire and only I escaped. And that's why my history stops there.
So it's at this point that Neshcom in the chat room says that's a lot of data points to get right. Yes and no, because that's it. That's all there is that's correct. Everything else that would be very simple to get right if it were really him is not there, including any pictures of himself at all.
Do you think it could be somebody who has, let's say, hit me with the music.
All right.
Think about this scenario. A man gets sick and dies. Let me introduce you to a person I'm going to call Mr. X. Mr. X is a fictitious person I made up in my mind who maybe trades in stolen identities or maybe some kind of black market of stolen identities, and somebody who needs a fresh start gets an open slot. What would you do with a new lease on life? What would you do if you were Mr. X? Also, is that a stupid idea?
So wait, are you saying that it's, hi, I'm Mr. X. I'm confused by your line of questioning.
No. No. Here's what I'm saying. Right? If he did die, it's conceivable that because you have people who trade in like valid social security numbers and some records. Look, when we pitched hacking the system, we said that the way to get a fresh start, if you have to vanish off the grid, is you check the obituaries, find somebody who died, somebody with an inconspicuous background, like a salesperson or a waiter, somebody who's about your age and close enough to you, and you call the Hall of Records. You start getting birth certificates and documents, and you rebuild your stuff. Could it be that all of this is for someone who doesn't necessarily know the story of the person whose identity is taking on, but somebody who is an ID thief who is just stealing a dead person's identity? Because that's apparently the way to do it. I read in a book.
I think a little darker. What if it's somebody who just wants to take out revenge on everybody associated with this bridge burner?
I mean, my father was certainly not short of enemies. However, it would be very odd timing that somebody waited almost a decade and a half to wreak any kind of havoc on people around my father, and also wouldn't be more direct, as in like, hey, your dad stole money from me, or your dad screwed something up for me, and now you owe me recompense.
Well, couldn't it be like if so let's say this person is owed money, let's say he does grab records or whatever, wouldn't that be a way this person could hit up family? It's like, well, it's been a long time, because there are cases of that. There's that whole documentary of that French dude who pretended to be a lost teenager from who had been vanished for 3 years in San Antonio. He showed up and didn't look like him, didn't have the right skin tone, didn't look anything like him. I had a French accent suddenly, and just like, hi, I'm home.
And everybody wanted to believe it. And everybody
they
filled
took
in the
him
details.
Yeah, it's an amazing documentary. I forget what it's called. The chat room will have it in no time.
He messages me.
Really? Oh my God! I'm sorry. Golly, is this season 2?
Now it's time to talk about the Facebook message.
He Facebook messages me and says, hi, how are you? I respond, who is this?
Okay, first of all, any punctuation on hi, how are you? Is he writing like somebody who at one point was a native English speaker, or is he writing like somebody who
is it como esta?
Okay. I'll tell you, man. Can we try to weave our narratives into each other? Can we put a quick pause on this story?
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. All
Okay.
right, so here, we can do whatever you want with this. We can go wherever we want.
All right, let me just press pause before we explore the conversation, because here's what I'm thinking of. I got an email today that I can't. This was one of the things that I told you. Do you remember I told you to put on the doc, like to
Yes.
read you the Denmark letter. 12 hours ago, I got an email from somebody with the title says on there, "En off de good Montana," and I'm like, all right, what? And it says, "Hey Brian, my friend, and John." John is spelled correctly, like John Tilton, my assistant. So I immediately think like, this is somebody from overseas who is a customer. He says, "Hey Brian and my friend and John, thanks for some good and very cool stuff in your fantastic home side, and also to the school." And I'm gonna actually put it up here so you can see. Yeah, I'm not showing the. I'm kind of showing the email. Let me. Okay, here. Yeah, I'll do this. And so this is what it looks like. It says. Whatever. Apparently, I'm just showing the email. "Hey, Brian, my friend, and John. Thanks for some good and very cool stuff in your fantastic home side, and also to the school." So he's talking about scam stuff and scam school.
Yep.
"I write from you, misspelled RITE, from Denmark, and have a big prayer to you, and I hope much you will help me. I need big time help to buy a totally new 9mm Beretta M9 handgun because I cannot get it in Denmark or the rest of Europe. It is only in the United States of America, your country, man can buy a Beretta M9. I have looked on different guns and weapons store on the internet, and it cost price around $600 to $700. He says, I had think you just sent it to me till my address you have for me in DK. Also my shipping address. And you put it in cover-up box for air guns or ruled inside a towel or something like that. So not to look mystic. I will of course send you the money first so you can buy it for me. Hope you will help with my problem." Oh, there you go. "Hope you will help with my problem and do one of the guys from Denmark very happy. I hope you will write RITE back soon and wait for your answer in my mailbox. Hope you have a cool day. Say hello from me to John and the other members of your gang. From Tawny, Montana, the Danish Viking. P.S. Just want the Beretta M9 pistol. I shall not have any 9mm bullets on the first order, just the gun."
What the heck?
So yeah, somebody wants you to be an international arms dealer.
Okay.
yeah.
That's just, Denmark's a hot
Well,
seed of discontent.
Okay. Nuke Jello doesn't miss a beat. He goes, "Living in Texas, got 3 daughters. International arms dealer. Buy a 9mm Beretta to
gosh.
send to Denmark today."
Boy, I tell you,
so-
that chat room is on. I think there's a clue for the cereal story here. But go ahead.
Okay, well, so here's what I'm asking. Like this, you can tell even successful scammers or whatever tend to not bother with proper punctuation or write like English is their first language.
Exactly. So what I get is hi, capital HIUOK, YOUOK, no punctuation, all lowercase. All right.
Okay, all right.
I say, "Who is this?" question mark. He writes this number that if I have a plan to deal with this, and it involves a mutual friend of ours who has family in a law enforcement agency who's going to help look into this.
Is it Richard Garriott? You're going to have him fly a hot air balloon down and jump out in a spacesuit and land.
Oh my God.
And say,
But just so you know, my original plan was I just wanted to, like, at the very least, talk shit to my possibly dead father over Facebook.
So he gives you a phone number to call. Like, he just gives a number.
A phone number to call, right? phone number if uppercase letter U
Yeah.
want to call.
Have you tried decrypting this?
Does not seem like my father, but then again, I have never known my father to write in a Facebook. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then I write back, post a picture of yourself on your Facebook or email one to me at justinrobertyoung@gmail.com.
Sure.
Because if it's him, it should not be a problem to send a current photo, and I know him enough to recognize his face, even if he is emaciated or looks far different. By the way, right now, if he is alive, he is 63 years old, turning 64 next month.
Right.
So, in the meantime, he friends my brother and my mother.
You hit that musical stinger right now, you motherfucker. As if that couldn't get weird enough, it's one thing to try to hit on internet celebrity Justin Robert Young, but to know his brother and his wife? I said wife. I should have said his
mother.
Mom.
Yeah.
I was changing pronouns for his. I was going to.
Funny you should say that though,
Uh-oh.
because he messages my brother and says, "How's married life?"
Oh shit, son.
Now, none of this is hard. He finds my brother as tagged as my brother via my Facebook. He finds my mom tagged as my mom via my Facebook.
Yeah.
When Eric's profile picture is him dancing with his wife, and he is listed as married.
And they're clearly like in wedding.
Yes, they're in wedding.
clothes.
She's in a wedding gown. He's
Got
in a
it.
tuxedo. They're like holding each other's hands on the dance floor.
There's a
So that's
unity
not
thing.
hard. None of this is remarkable. Until I get the email.
God damn it.
Oh.
Let's talk about the email. This could be the game changer that breaks the entire case wide open.
Leading up to this, I don't think it's him, for the record, at all. I think that this is somebody who has done some rudimentary stuff, and that I think that phone number is just like some scammer thing where you call it and it charges you $30 to your.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, even as you were talking about it, half the chat room was screaming, call the number. And then, Cowgirl Curtis, I believe, was the voice of reason. Like, don't you dare call that number right now. There's nothing good that would happen.
So I have left him.
Male Kymp? I'm sorry.
I've left him with the option of posting a pic on Facebook or emailing me with a photo of himself.
Now, when you say you got an email, what is the return address you see? Like, is there a lightning bolt moment?
No, it is not an email that I believe he ever sent anything from previous. It is a yahoo.com email.
Yeah.
And it's not like a clear variation of his name or something.
The email through whatever, and I don't want to give it out.
Yeah, of course.
It is an approximation of his birthday.
Okay, well, but that's also not weird either because he obviously that's the birth that he listed on there.
It is not juries.ded.dad at yahoo.com.
It's not C001.dad at Yahoo. It's not Dick Pic Dad as Sandstorm is stuck on.
It is not Dick Pic Dad. No. I don't know whether or not how much I should just read. I think I'm just going to read this entire email.
Okay. Is it Bridge Burner 420?
It is not Bridgeburner 420. It is not c.jew.dad at hotmail.com. It is not JUY3SPOP at yahoo.com.
Jury's Pop.
It is not XXXX Blaze It 420 XXXX at AOL.com. No. It is Charles Young in the metadata. So
Okay.
like it pops up as like Charles Young. And he writes in very broken English. So understand that all of this is very, very, like, the punctuation is shit, and it is not spelled correctly. First paragraph. I will look for a pic, and then an L where an exclamation point would go.
Oh man, this is like they figured out the agonizing space. This is like the computer program that can almost pass the Turing test, and it's agonizing. Keep going.
Now, let me let you guys know that if you think that I am well spoken, if you think that I have a gift for gab, it is what I have inherited from my father. My father talked like I talk. My father would harass me about punctuation. It would harass me about pronunciation. He would, another one of his famous super drunk, I'm being an asshole to my 12-year-old son moments was when he one time he stopped talking to me for the night because I could not properly enunciate the pronunciation for Rio de Janeiro.
Wow. By the way, I noticed that withholding his love has made you be able to perfectly nail it in your adult life.
He was precise about things, okay? So it's like if it is to be like said, oh, he's living in another country, that's not him. Yes, he's living in another country. He is not a broken English person. And I talked to my cousin who had talked to him after I stopped talking to him, and his first thing was, if it's broken English, it's not your dad. Like that was his open and shut case situation. However, let me get to what the email says.
All right. I got Justin to read the email to me recently from prison. I mean, wait. I screwed it all up. It's actually Justin. Justin was on a drunken rampage and was in county when he got the email and read it to me.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, I just want to read the email. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to say, like, I don't even know where the email is, really. Like, I don't know what to make of it, is all I'm saying. All right.
Sorry.
Just to let you know, it took 15 years to get over your mother and my alcoholism.
Oh!
Followed you and Eric on social pages you use. Pretty funny stuff at times. To deal with Russell, his brother, who committed suicide. As that was going on, you were out of any interference to reach you again. I believe the time is come. I'll post pics on your FB. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Always remember that persistence is the key. Love, Charles Young.
Okay. And it's riddled with grammatical and spelling mistakes and all that stuff.
Including the most damning. My brother's name is spelled E-R-I-K.
Oh, okay. By the way, Spiderbite in the chat, I believe in all caps.
Oh, no, it's spelled E-R-I-K. He spells it E-R-I-C. Like, it's misspelled.
Right. No, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. But
which is odd, because he fucking named him.
Right.
Spiderbite in all caps is screaming in the chat, Andrew Main is fucking missing out on the best weird things ever. So what's the thought then? This is somebody who knew him, that knows that he got money out, or do you think you're going to get like an older photo, like something from 6-7 years ago that is just scanned and
well, there is a fairly high likelihood at this point that it is at the very least somebody who knew him and his story, right? Yeah. I still think it is highly unlikely that it is him. It is, for me, very highly unlikely that it is him. It is far more likely to me to be somebody who thinks that it was this poor old fuck who died and thought he had rich family in the States. Here's the other thing. There were a lot of people who were sympathetic to him even toward the end. None of them were me, my brother, and my mother. If you were to list the 3 people that probably had the burning hatred for him, it would be me. In order, me, my mother, and my brother. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of other people who just don't happen to have the last name Young that are far more sympathetic to him that he has not contacted.
So you do think that this is somebody who knew him, knew his story, and felt like, they were saying in the chat, classic catfish is the operating theory at this point?
I mean, effectively, right? Like you would think that it is something that like people would know enough about him to present a reasonable facsimile of him, but there's so much that just screams bullshit on this.
Yeah.
And also it's like I would like to think, if this is my father, then he is a fundamentally, and by that I mean close to mentally retarded version of
shell of him
as I knew him. Like he has to be not in any way the same person for him to talk like this. And also like, I mean, it's hard for me to say this in a way. And people are saying stroke. I mean, maybe but also it's like to have a stroke and then deal with it. I feel like there's somebody, does he just start using Facebook by himself alone after a stroke? There's nobody else. It's like, hey, your father had a stroke, but he'd like to reconnect with you. Like, it just seems so fucking weird.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I don't know if this is or is not Charles Young, but I know for a fact that it's not your dad, because I guarantee you he was not in Slither, Mallrats, or Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it is certainly not Michael Rooker. It is certainly not anybody else who has been, massive father figures in my life. But it is weird, and it certainly did quite a bit to kick up, quite a bit of random bullshit.
Yeah, random baggage. Okay, so and now we're caught up. And let me tell you, man, for those of you guys who didn't watch live, it pretty much never happens that Justin just waltzes in 25 minutes after posted showtime. And the moment I saw you, I was like, oh my God, this is ongoing. And you could check the furtive glances, because I'm sure there's all these kind of messages happening on cell phones and who you're gonna talk to investigate, and you're waiting to see the photo and everything. Some people in the chat suggest that if he's after anything, he's after that sweet, sweet Patreon money available to us from patreon.com/Night Attack, nice. Where 1,786 people have pledged almost $2,000, which is just shy of top hats and monocles, which those were good days. Wouldn't it be great if you enjoyed this podcast? If you feel like we're back to fighting form and you want to throw $1 at our face, then let us continue our unbridled honesty with you by pledging over at patreon.com, even if it's 25 cents. We got a bunch of quarter donors and $1 donors.
Oh, by the way,
that shit adds up.
Let me just say this for the record, and this is something that I've joked about, that like I didn't care to find out whether or not my dad was really dead, because I knew that if he was alive, all I had to do was fulfill my goal, my life goal of living a healthy life and making good money from my art, and he would come out of the woodwork to find me. Like, right. That's the kind of person that he is, which is like, that's the fucked up thing. I was talking to my cousin, and he's like, well, why don't you lead him along and see if they ask for money? And I'm like, and that would point us in which direction? Like, would that prove that it was my father, or would it prove that it was a scam artist? Because it is totally in character for either one of them. And if this is the case, and you go ahead and donate to patreon.com/nightattack, I will guarantee you not a motherfucking red cent will ever end up in the fucking hands of Charles Young. Like, and if you were looking at T social pages and fucking, and this is something that happens to pop up on my Facebook, know this: Charles Young, if you are indeed alive, there is not a fucking cent that will ever end up in his hands. Your hands. Dead person's hand. I'm not going to dead ghost dad and put a fucking hot penny in that motherfucker's palm. That's a fact. Like Agnes Agatha Germain in chat.
How fast can we get a bit.ly that just redirects to patreon.com/nightattack that's just called bit.ly/jury's revenge or what? So you can pledge to be part of
listen, I understand I have daddy issues. Like, I get it. It's just very weird when your daddy issues manifest and start poking you in the middle of your business day.
Jeez, no kidding, man. That's amazing.
But yeah, so I mean, listen, it's so fucked up, and it's also like, I don't know now at this point after getting that email, I know I'm angry either way. I know I'm either angry like at my father because he is a living person, and I have to even if I wanted to reconnect with him, I need to deal with this fucking anger with him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or if it is somebody who is trying to manipulate me and just happens to make the mistake that, like, they came to me, a person who has no interest in reconnecting with his father and certainly has less than no interest of putting any kind of money in that person's pocket, like, then I am incredibly angry at that person. That you know, number one, that they would ply their trade in manipulating the emotions of others, let alone like just for as part of their trade bring up these kinds of emotions.
Head on over to tiny.cc/fuckyoudad to pledge. That's the working link that heads on over to patreon.com/nightattack.
There we go. Yeah, tinycc/fuckyoudad.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how many random people just come across that. And they're just like, really? That's all I got to do?
Oh, wow.
So there we go. That's the what I've been dealing with today.
All day. Well, I mean, since 3 o'clock this afternoon, which, you know what? I think I have a stake in this too, because this motherfucker undid the 45 minutes of planning that we had for this episode. However, he did give us certainly one of the most intriguing episodes that we've ever had. Wow.
Yeah, we'll follow up with this, but I have a sneaking suspicion that past tomorrow or the day after, I don't think it's really going to be a thing, because I highly doubt that it's him.
Yeah.
That's
well, and even
although I called my brother and I'm like, can you fucking believe we're getting Royal Tenenbaums right now?
Oh.
Like Royal Tenenbaums might be me and my brother's favorite movie. Like that.
Oh God, I love that movie. I was thinking.
We love that movie, and you know, I called him, and he's like, I'm like, I thought I thought you said that Dad was dead, and he replies exactly in the line from the movie where he's like, turns out he's actually dying.
Wow. So, how's the rest of the family handling all of this? I mean, are they?
I mean, my mom's freaked out. My mom, obviously, and without getting into very, very, gory details, things ended, with my father and my mother because of physical and mental abuse, and she is not a fan of him in life or death, and she was very freaked out by him. Okay, so did she have warning that you got this thing? Like, did you put the word out to the family, or did she just? I called her. I hit her up immediately because turns out I'm flying to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow. Also.
Oh wow!
And so I said
to round up a motherfucking posse.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, I got 2 surprises for you, and one's bigger than the other one. First surprise, I'm coming to see you tomorrow. She's like, that's great. Second surprise. Your dead ex-husband just friended me on Facebook.
Is that how you phrased it?
Oh
I love the fact that you're such a consummate professional that you don't even allow sensitivity to the issue to keep you from delivering the line in the perfect pop to get the biggest reaction.
And she responded,
Well, plus also, this is when you're convinced it's a scam to begin with. You're like, yeah, apparently it's a scammer.
I mean, this is almost right after I talked to you. Because by the way, also this happens after I talk to you. We're at the end of our planning, right? And right before I go on the air for Daily Tech News Show. So watch me on Daily Tech News Show today. That is me doing Daily Tech News Show minutes after I first read this Facebook.
Wow. That's well, I'll tell you what, I can, I don't think it's, I don't know. Some people find it annoying when people try to tell other people that they can relate or whatever. That's definitely what happened when I found out that my best friend from high school had committed suicide, because this is right when you and I were just becoming, barely knew each other, and I told you about it. And minutes later, literally 30 minutes later, I had to go, just show up at Universal Halloween Horror Nights and do 5 shows that night. It's like, that's a hard thing to do, man.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, and again, I don't think this is necessarily like a tragedy or anything. I think the fucked up story of my father, I guess, is certainly relatable to people that have troubled relationships with their parents and stuff like that. So it might evoke personal tragedy, but this is certainly just weird. It's not necessarily a
well, okay, so here's unfortunately, if we could play odds maker now on how this all wraps up. Unfortunately, if I'm gonna lay my most generous odds, and I wish Midzula was in the chat to offer actual odds, I'm gonna bet that it's,
if we can get this listed on the Rio book,
we could give a 30-day limit to say where we are at 30
all
days.
right, somebody hit up Midzula. I want him to just listen to this and then just roll out actual real or fake verified odds.
I guess so. So here are the different things that could turn out. 30 days from now, you have unresolved is I'm going to.
That would be a push. I feel like that everyone gets their money back on unresolved. You are betting on action. You always bet on action.
Okay. Then there's 3 outcomes that you get. Confirmed dad, confirmed not dad, and he's caught. Confirmed not dad, and he is not caught within 30 days.
Well, I guess we would just be looking for, I mean, I guess what would, because that's the thing, is if you bust him on it and he just never responds.
Well, but I mean, it's identity theft, and it's, and it's like, I mean, I assume the police could be, wait, where is this? Do they have good?
It's Hola, Puerto Rico!
Oh, so wait, so it's an American territory.
Born, yeah, it is
well,
U.S. protectorate.
Yeah,
so somebody in the chat mentioned, what if he's undercover and that's why you're moving every 2 years and cryptic messages.
I could see the simmering rage at the mere suggestion that he was so noble a man. I saw blazing fire.
He really is. Bonnie, I wouldn't blame you for saying that.
No, I'm just repeating what somebody said in chat.
Every bit of Archer without the skill. He took out the spy skill, and he was just a selfish, indulgent asshole.
That was amazing.
That was my father.
Because if you were to go up to most
selfish,
people,
indulgent asshole.
If you were to go up to most people and say your mom is a cum guzzling road whore, you would get that same fire. And Justin's like, don't you ever talk about my dad that way. My dad was a piece of shit, and he died of alcoholism.
Oh my God. Now, I knew somebody who was an undercover agent, but he spent half his days with a whole different family. He had 2 families, and he worked as I don't even know what kind of.
Wait, this is a story you heard. You don't know him. It was Robert Johnson at 1577.
It was one of the neighbors out in the country, and then they. But anyways, so he was like, "Oh, I've got to go out on a mission," but then half of the time that mission was actually emissions with his other wives.
You know what? Since Benzula's
so by the way, people keep asking me to Google the phone number. I have Googled the phone number, and I just did it again. It just brings up a bunch of reverse phone number lookup sites and stuff like that, umail.com, phone number matching, yada yada yada.
Yeah. That's all those things, all those reverse lookups.
Call this number, it's a scam.
Since Midzula is not listening, can't give us proper odds, Chat Realm has a straw poll where the question is Jury's dad alive? So far, First place is You've Been Rookered. Second place is Scammer. Third place is Pol Pot. And fourth place is It's Really Him.
Man, no one's got a lot of faith in old Chuck Young.
Oh,
wait, the action's coming in. Now it's getting live. It's funny because they throw up straw polls all the time in the chat, and then but it's not until I click over to them people are like, "Oh wait, it's that's the one he's actually looking at."
Yeah, that's my day.
Man,
Wow.
I'll tell you what. If there's one thing that we could take away from this whole experience, it's that
Is that Charles Young killed Hae-Min Lee?
no, is that we could all use better protection of our personal security. We should watch, I don't know, maybe Hacking the System about personal security and identity fraud.
You know, Brian, when I'm contemplating whether or not my deadbeat father is alive, or if it's somebody trying to exploit my personal memories for money, I like to think, I could really use the lessons learned to me by Brian Brushwood's Hacking the System.
Yeah, man, we had the premiere last night, and we did the watch party, and totally appreciated you and Tom hanging out with Jason and I. There was a surreality to it. It was, man, I just want to thank everyone who showed up, everyone who participated, everyone who's ever said a kind word of encouragement that has gotten me to where we are now, because it has been a motherfucking 15-year journey since quitting my day job and thinking, wouldn't it be great if I could be a fella on the TV? And then I was like, first thing I got to do is lose this accent. So I went to a voice coach. But people said really nice things about both of the shows. They said it moved fast. Bonnie had the awesome experience. She said, who in my entire side of the family is the one person that you think fits the demographic of this show? And I picked like this cousin that's one of the twins on the far side of the family that I've met like thrice, and I just used thrice. I met him thrice.
I could be a fella on the TV that used words like thrice.
That was the first one I learned. He said, damn it, I can make a lady out of you. I'll make a bet. I guessed you, and then Bonnie says, and guess who was?
Just says, that means 3 times.
And it turns out that he was randomly flipping channels, stopped because it looked like a cool show, and watched for 3 minutes before he realized that it was his cousin-in-law that was on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
and he friended me on Facebook.
Oh, because he saw it, he friended you on Facebook. I was like, play the serial music. What kind of person friends a cousin only after seeing her husband on national television? There was one amazing moment that this morning I went to the what do you call it, the gym. And I was just about to get on the bike, and I felt the buzz for, a new Gmail comes in. And I look, and let me see if I can find it. Here we go. The email says it gives his name. And you know how on Gmail you see the subject heading in the bit of the first line. And I read his name. The subject is Hacking the System. And I read as far as, I am a private investigator. And then I kind of scroll. It says, I'm a private investigator in Texas. I saw your show last night on Nat Geo and was amazed. You managed to show something I've been teaching and telling everyone for years. And he goes on to say, he's like, but you showed it and made people really start, thinking about it. And,
what was that? What was the thing that he was hot on?
He said, well, I mean, I hope he doesn't mind me reading bits of it. He says, the difference is you showed us at practice. Everyone takes mine as theory. And he says, I have a monthly luncheon for private investigators in the San Antonio area. We're part of a statewide association. Some of the information I was able to get on you shows you near the Austin area. If this is correct, can I buy you lunch someday and have you talk to the PIs here? And so it went from like, it's sort of like when you get a certified letter. It's like nothing, it's either going to be an inheritance or the housing association or a lawsuit or something. And it was one of those like, and it felt really good about it.
That's awesome. Wait, What was the bit on the show that he liked?
Oh, he was just talking about the whole personal security thing, because it's all these best practices, not using regular Wi-Fi and, or just, random Wi-Fi with the pineapple or stuff. And to my amazement, I've kept track of it. And I assume I almost got uncomfortable because.
By the way, Bob McBob says total honeypot. They're just sucking you in.
They're catfish. One of the things that, especially with the launch of Scam School, there's always that 5% that's going to turn around and shit on everything. Like I don't think we've ever had. I am thrilled if a Scam School video has fewer than 3% thumbs down, because no matter what, you're going to have that thumbs down element. And looking at all the comments, just universally, people were reaching out to say nice things. And on Twitter, everything was positive. And I started to get uncomfortable until finally, because, again, I want to represent myself well. There was one person who was replying to Darren Kitchen who mentioned that, sweet shout out for the Wi-Fi pineapple on there. And the guy's like, ha ha, he's all typing random buttons going herder, I'm a hacker. And I said, well, it's more like I'm on a television show and there's no way the director will not allow me to get a shot of not typing, these commands, Yeah. So I don't know, but I was actually glad that there was at least one, minor trolling and that comfortingly he included me in the at reply, so I was able to just remind him that there's certain constrictions that we have. But anyway, it was blast.
I mean, it's like, you can't. It's like
you can't win them all, Brian. I'll love them all, Justin.
No, it's when he's really doing it that matters. Like no, yes, he prepped this at 6 a.m. and did it by himself, but we will be in his bedroom while he does it. It is the only true truth.
Yes. So yes, if you missed it, they're going to replay the episodes on Friday. We got, I believe, there's a schedule posted, but I believe it's 2 episodes every Monday and Friday for the next 3 weeks, and then it's going to be 1 episode a week for a couple weeks after that. Oh, good. Thank goodness. We just got a tweet from Max Trollbot that says, hacking the system is worse than Hitler.
You wanted trolls, Brian.
Well, this
hacking
is
the system is worse than Hitler.
Here's what I love about our audience is he knew not to use the hashtag when he did it.
We're just a bunch of dogs biting each other's ears. We're just playing.
Yeah.
Not trying to start a fight.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, the good news is next week's episode is going to be fucking amazing because it's the first time we've sketched out the entire episode a week in advance. Plus, next week, we're going to have Sarah Lane on for Problem Solvers, and we're going to do the bit that we planned to do this week.
Yeah, no, we are. We are definitely going to do that. I guess, we can just go to open lines for the third segment here, and then we'll just save the bit that we're going to do.
We're already at an hour, bro. I mean, we can hang around if we, it's time for Movie Draft Minute. Let me see if I can find that.
Well, wait, hold on. Wait. We also got to do the ad.
We got to do what?
The ad.
Oh, shit. You mean talk about our friends?
We do, yeah.
We do have friends. Who can we chit-chat about?
Well, Brian, I mean, why don't you talk about the importance of friendship for anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes?
Here's the thing. There's a lot of people that, you know what? We could do that, but instead I could just...
keep the
you know what? I'd rather just play my favorite remix song from the album. It's the best thing. Tropics freaking did an amazing job on... if you haven't picked up Night Attack 3, I can't get it to play. There we go. Play.
Well, here, I got Brian.
No,
you
I wanted to hear HD, really, honey.
Right,
damn it.
Go.
Yeah, I won't play, motherfucker. Wait. Oh, there we go. Here, let's just play a bit of this. If you haven't picked up Night Attack 3, this shit's the jam.
Like that's the stereotype.
This is, I go around singing this all the time now.
Dudes looking at the girls.
Also That's a direct.
Shut the fuck up.
really funny. Really funny is that I would have really found you attractive.
So what's funny is like Bonnie, I was playing it, and you're in the opening, you're doing the part where you're pretending to be Bonnie, and you're like, ew, friends are gross. And then Bonnie looks over me, gets my attention, and points to it and goes, like says, is that me?
I couldn't stand it. I was like, really?
She was like, oh my God. And so what I start doing is as each person starts talking, I start pointing at which monitor that is. Like, that's Justin. It's like, shut the fuck up, pointing at myself. Anyway. Thank you again to Tropics for doing those remixes.
Is already on Twitter. Look at that.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Tropics, we should figure out some.
All right, listen. Let me just say to Ghost Dad, the guy who's running the Ghost Dad Twitter, let's not make it real with taking things from the profile. Let's leave that down.
Unless you know what,
everybody's best interest, because I don't know once the hammer comes down on this, like whether or not it's going to be good that Friends have that image up.
There's literal. Oh, is that what happened, or?
Yeah, no, they're taking. People have figured out what profile it is, and they're taking images and stuff from there.
Let's stop that
right now.
Yeah,
just right now. I'll guarantee you this: as soon as we are out of the woods on this, I will open the kimono on literally everything. You guys know me well enough. There's no reason why I should be talking about this within 10 hours of it happening, especially if it might actually be my father. Like, I am honest to a fault. Just trust me on this. Just don't. I mean, we can all talk about it. You can have a Jury's Ghost Dad thing. Just don't use things from that profile.
Well, if nothing else, just understand there is an actual ongoing investigation at this moment that could be jeopardized by dicking around with that. So.
And I don't want it to be like, oh, well, there was also this other thing and that used the same image and stuff like that.
So you're telling me that while your dad has reached out from the grave, you're sitting there making jokes on the internet? It is unconscionable to me that a man within seconds of meeting his dead father would be joking. Play the tape.
I mean, like, I just don't know why people got to use the same image, right? Like, I'm just like, if there's like a million images, why they got to use that one?
It's pretty good, you guys. That's pretty good. That's dead on. No.
All right. Hey, Brian.
What's up, buddy?
You know what really gets my goat?
Is it dead fathers returning from the grave on Facebook?
Holy shit, is it, Brian? And you know what's worse? Having them email you.
Well, I mean, if they were to email you without your permission, I mean, that just seems like that'd be spam. But that's the only thing I can think of that would be worse than your dead abusive father coming back from the grave to send you dick pics.
Right? If only I had a enterprise class filtering service that would keep spam out of my inbox.
Well, you know what? I'd like to fly. All right, buddy. We can't all go. You know what? An Adnan wants to be free. How about that? We all got things we want.
I mean, like, aside from being in jail, right? Like, I'm just trying to say, like, if only I could not have spam in my inbox. I mean, like, I'm in jail, right? Like, I just not say that, like, if maybe there's just a service, I'd be willing to pay money, right? Like, I'm just trying to, like, I'm like, can we please just not have spam in my inbox?
Well, too bad, buddy. We all have wishes.
But Brian, if only you knew about MailRoute.
Oh,
MailRoute.
Fuck! I just realized I had completely forgot about our best friends over at MailRoute, the enterprise class net spam filtering thingy. All you have to do is edit your MX records, and they'll filter out all the spam. You'll get no spam. It's amazing.
But was MailRoute really all it was cracked up to be? Or am I just crazy? I went and checked it out. MailRoute was actually a best-in-class web filtering service that made sure that spam never hit my inbox. And at the end of everything, I have to think, if MailRoute is good for me, why isn't it good for you? And if it's good enough for me and you, is it good enough for the world?
The only way we'll know is if we have some promo code to use when we go sign up for it, buddy. That's the only way.
Well, the only way to do it is mailroute.net/NAP.
NAP, what does that stand for?
Wait, is it Night Attack? The other one's NAP.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, what's funny is I was
MailRoute.net/Night Attack.
God damn it.
Hold on, wait a minute.
No, it's promo code Night Attack. Is it?
No, it's not promo code. No, neither of them are promo code.
Oh, good. All right, good.
It's MailRoute.net/Night Attack. Brings you to a page, and that's how we get credit for it. Listen, man, if you're just one user, you're just one dude, $30 a year. A whole goddamn year for no spam in your inbox.
Look, and don't give me this crybaby excuse of like, I don't know if it's going to work. Why don't you sign up for a 15-day free trial? Speaking of trials.
Like, all you got to do is edit your MX records. And that's easier than having your dead father find you on Facebook.
God. Yeah, man. Pricing is look, somewhere out there, one of you guys is working at an enterprise class business with 450 to 499 users. Guess what? $1.49 per user per month. That ain't hardly nothing. If you're one user, $30 a year. How about free for 15 days?
By the way, if you actually work at like a place that could use this and you're like the IT guy and you sign up with MailRoute, we're going to crown you king of MailRoute on the show.
Yeah, until someone, look, we need a king for MailRoute. You're it until you die or we find someone better. And and by somebody better, we mean somebody who signs up an even bigger whale.
Yeah. So there we go. We if you want to be crowned king of a MailRoute.
Postini, are you back?
It's me, Postini. You thought I was dead, and it turns out that's the popular thing these days. You think I am dead, and then I come back, you message you on Facebook.
Like, I really feel like we need to have somebody put together one of those paper crowns, like you get at Burger King that we can mail out to. Like
that we can mail route.
That we can mail route to them.
All right, I need a link to the movie draft minute in the chat if somebody has it. I'm so
by the
dumb
way,
to find it.
high drama in the movie draft minute.
What? Oh shit! Movie draft minute. Oh, there it is right here. Got it. And let's take a look at the movie draft minute.
Welcome to your penultimate movie draft minute presented by CosmicRadio.tv for the week of January 19th, 2015. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. The one thing I love about the movie draft is how unpredictable it gets near the end. How things that we see as automatically going to happen completely and utterly flip. Let's find out who's in first place. Justin Robert Young's in sixth place with Black Hat, bringing in $4.4 million, bringing his total to $227.4 million. John Teasdale's in fifth place with $238.8 million. Tom Merritt's in fourth place with $368.9 million. Scott Johnson's in third place with $434 million. Brian Brushwood drops to second place with $439.9 million. And in first place, with the Wedding Ringer bringing in $24.0 million a week, bringing his total to $485.1 million, it's Brett Roundsville. And that is your movie draft minute for the week of January 19th, 2015.
Hey,
Holy
Brian,
cow.
You know what they say about the movie draft?
That it's just
You
the
might think that you are the snake dicker, but you just happen to be the snake dicky when it came to this movie draft.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what.
Snake dicked.
I thought for sure that first it looked like the interview was going to run away with it, and it'd be like, well, is there an asterisk or whatever? Then whatever my horseshit last movie was that did 80 million or whatever, or no, Hobbit had juice, brought me out in front. We're like, okay, I guess I'm going to win, but we'll always wonder if the interview screwed it. All of a sudden, calling it, no asterisk. No asterisk.
Invalidated. It validated everything based on what is literally, and for both the drafts that we've done this year, I think aside from Guardians of the Galaxy, there are two movies that overperform this year. And it's that like surprisingly overperformed. That were like big gigantic hits. Like like Maleficent and stuff that like mildly overperformed. But you kind of knew they were gonna do good. They just did like very good. The ones that were like rando blockbusters were Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a Marvel movie, had a better pedigree, and American Sniper, which has, like a star that has made movies that have made less money, a director that has made good movies that have made less money. For whatever reason, everything just collapsed at the right moment, and American Sniper makes $1 jillion.
Yeah, man. I actually don't even know. That's how not on the radar it was. I figured it's like, I don't know, some indie film for all I know, like one of them movies about Iraq. Is it about Iraq? Can we play Brian Guesses what American Sniper's about?
It's about Afghanistan and Iraq. But yeah, a dude who was in, I think, both theaters of war and was like racked up the most kills as a sniper.
Wow.
Like, ew.
Ew?
Ew.
Ew. Sniping's so gross. Gross. Gross.
That's a direct. That's a direct hit.
Like, I'm really kind of not proud of that. And they're making movies.
Aiming. Really, honey?
Pink mist. Really, honey? Hey, by the way, Brian, we got to bring up a diamond time.
Oh, heck yeah. So I got to, you know what?
Your projects right here on the show. All you got to do is head on over to reddit.com/r/Diamond Club or diamondclub.reddit.com to find the big sticky post that is there every single week where you can shout out your projects. Someone writes polpot.net. It's exactly what you think it is. From the makers of brickslap.tv comes the next generation of crowdsourced decision-making. Hat tip to Sergeant Muffin. I'm not directly involved in the project, but thought it was cool. I don't think he knows that it got submitted. Be warned, it's in a very early beta.
No. Yes. Pol Pot. We should point out it's POLLPOT.
Yes. And so there we go, man.
There it is. If you go to polpot.net,
it automatically adds Pol Pot.
Oh, does it? So it's POLLPOT.net/POL/35.
So if you like straw poll, but you are tired of typing in Pol Pot at the end of your thing. Also, it's helpful in that it writes Pol Pot at the end and then adds parenthetically best option.
Oh, we should point out that it actually has a Supreme Leader mode checked. That apparently I checked it. If I disable Supreme Leader mode,
no, it's checked by default.
Yes,
right?
correct. Okay, so here I'll say yes, and look at that. We got wait, who wrote no? Fuck you.
So there we go. Check it out. POLLPOT.net.
Yeah.
Tinvec says Diamond Dialogue is back for season 2. TINNVEC.com/DD. If you missed season 1, I host Diamond Dialogue, a short form interview show featuring the members of Chat Realm. I ask dumb questions to get fun answers from the guests to get to know them a little bit better. This season will also feature many of the hosts of the shows on diamondclub.tv. It'll be really fun. And if you would like to be on the show, fill out the short form, which you can find on the Reddit because it's a Google form with a big complex thing.
Yeah,
so
by the way, I got an email from Tinvec reminded me or asking me to do it. The answer is yes. I definitely want to do it. I'm sorry.
Fill it out. I filled out the thing. You have to fill out the thing.
Okay, I'll fill out the thing.
And finally, we have Ganoush movie trailer. At this link starts about 1:40 for the good parts. That is bit.ly/sin Kickstarter. Greetings from a fellow Diamond Clubber. We need your help to make our first feature-length movie. It's called Sin, and it plays on the only thing that is still scary in movies, religion-obsessed serial killers. If you truly sin and don't repent, the priest will take you and make you confess. Think Red State meets Friday the 13th. This is a love letter to classic slashers. Unlike other independent horror films, it doesn't focus on the gore. It focuses on the people and the true terror of their situations. My personal production company, Flaming Kitty Productions, will be doing the special effects, and I will also be the director of photography. We can't make this awesome film without your help, Chat Realm. Much love, Ganoush.
Hey, Ganoush was he the winner of? I know he contributed to one of the early 10-second film festivals, which, by the way, we got to do another one again soon. But was he the winner that time?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Right on. Always
no,
classic.
Go to one. He says 140 for the good part.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 140 is oh, geez. Let's just watch a murder with that's definitely a knife at the eyeball. Okay. Oh, jeez.
Hey, listen, man, if you're into horror, this is awesome. Or if you're T2T2 who has just written parenthetically FAP, then
whatever floats your boat. Hey, so I do want to plug again the kind of stuff that they put in there. There's the top link right now is Psychiatrist's View. Yik-Yak is the most dangerous app I've ever seen. And somebody plugged in this Max Trollbot action figure, which, holy crap.
I am programmed by the worst elements of the internet. Shut up. My name is Max Trollbot. Shut up. My name is Max Trollbot.
So it plays different
My
phrases.
senses are made of YouTube comments.
Which, by the way, are all taken from the first episode of Game On.
That's amazing.
We're so proud of that. We're like, oh, this is gonna be like
dude. hey, Justin, we were right. We're gonna retire on the toy rights to Max Trollbot.
You hear that, Dad?
You hear that, other dad? So let's do, I guess, man, is that really it? This has been one of the most extraordinary episodes of our horseshit little show that we've ever done.
Dude, I can't believe we went the whole hour on that story. But I mean, like, I guess it is one of the most remarkable things that has ever happened to me in terms of just like weird real life mystery stuff. Like I suspect in the next 48 hours it will be increasingly demystified. But right now, I'm glad that we had this moment so we could share the wilderness that I was in earlier.
Well, there are certain moments when you can tell that something powerful is happening, and we just need to scrap everything and run with it. Thanks to everybody for hanging with us and for everything going upside down and sideways. Hopefully you guys
By the way,
enjoyed it.
journey submissions need to be done in the next week. You have one more week to submit your chapters for the journey before we go into voting mode. So now is the time to write if you would like to have the voice of Chet Page come from your very fingers.
Yeah, man. See you guys next Tuesday. Wait, that's Sugant. See you next Tuesday.
Eye in a fire.
Dad.
Fuck you, Chuck.
Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack.